Australia. A very good evening to you right around the country. Welcome to the war, and it's great as always to have you with us. And of course, we're edging towards the final fortnight of the election campaign.
It's getting serious now. This is the what I call the business end of the election, as both parties, they had their official campaign launches this week. Here's the Labor Party launch from earlier today. Then, of course, the Liberal Party had their launch on Monday. And not to be outdone, the Australian Democrats also had their launch this week. Slightly smaller turnout.
And ladies and gentlemen, I believe that marks our first Democrats joke of the election. Yeah. Mark it up. Yes, well done.
On the board. But I think both the leaders will be pretty happy with their performance at the launches. Howard will just be grateful, I think, that anyone stayed awake during his, unlike on the hustings, where people are falling asleep at the mere sight of him. Oh, it's becoming embarrassing.
Just stares at them, they go to sleep. I know, and this is becoming a real issue for Howard. I mean, if you look at the Kirribilli foreshore after John Howard's had his walk each morning, it's just this string of sleeping people left in his wake. It's a real problem.
Oh, it's an epidemic. I feel for the man, but policy-wise, I think Howard had an OK kind of week. Some big policy announcements, weren't there? And perhaps none bigger than this one.
The government will provide $500,000 over the next 4 years for the conservation of orangutans in Indonesia.
That's smart politics by Howard. He played there very well to the orangutan community, where Howard's approval rating jumped 4 points to beat him well ahead of Rudd this week.
Yes, well, the primate vote can swing an election, Craig, and not to be outdone, Mr Me Too, Kevin Rudd, today pledged $40 million to help this man.
Because we were talking last week about the Liberal slogan, Go for Growth, and I thought it was very interesting how the day the interest rates went up was the only day that Howard dropped the slogan background and went with that Australian flag instead.
Yes. That wasn't intentional, though, I don't think. It's just that the Go for Growth slogan was being used that day by this man instead.
Looks better for him. We mentioned too last week how John Howard had become such a babe magnet. This week it was Kevin Rudd's turn. I mean, look at this. He was just mobbed by teenage girls in Adelaide.
Extraordinary scenes.
It is, isn't it? The amazing thing is that the groupies are so out of control now that Rudd has to drive around in an armoured vehicle.
Well, frankly, I'm worried about Rudd's influence on our young, on the nation's teenagers. I am. We've mentioned before how Rudd is soft on drugs. We all know it. And this week again, he couldn't stop banging on about Labor's plan to sell drugs on the street.
Our plan for dealing.
Typical Rudd. Has to repeat it all the time, doesn't he? He's so repetitive. His language can be quite odd. Unlike the Prime Minister, who makes perfect sense every time. He's especially across economic management.
The downward spiral in unemployment quickened. If you can quicken a spiral. No, that's a bit of a mixed metaphor, but anyway, you get my meaning.
Accelerate.
The downward, whatever.
I get it.
And this is the one that's supposed to be the good economic manager. He's the good one on economics.
Takes two of them to make a sentence.
Man, and just see the poor media pack at the end of that doorstop. Still asleep.